Hi everyone, Mr. H here. So good to see you again. This week we're going to talk about percussion instruments. Now, percussion instruments are any type of instrument that you shake, scrape, or hit to make the sound. And there's a lot of them that we have and a lot of them that we use at Linda Elementary for our music. But because I'm at home and you guys are at school and I don't have the instruments with me, it's hard for me to show you. But one of my teacher friends made a couple videos and I'm going to show you guys that will teach us about instruments you shake, instruments you scrape, and instruments you hit. So we're going to watch those videos and I'll talk a little bit about them at the end of each one. And after that, I'm going to show you a game we can play. So to begin with, we're going to talk about percussion instruments you can shake. Let's watch the video.
Hi, welcome to Music. This is Mrs. Pelfrey, and today we're going to be talking about percussion instruments. Percussion instruments are instruments that you can shake, hit, bang, or tap, strike, or scrape. And I'll show you what I mean. We're going to look at some instruments that we can shake. So some percussion instruments that we can shake you might have seen in the music room, and some are bells. These are jingle bells or sleigh bells that you can put on your wrist and shake. I have some other bells that have a handle that you can hold on and shake. Oh, another shaking instrument, maracas. These are little baby maracas, little chiquita maracas. And I also have an egg shaker. You can see it's similar in shape. This one just has the handle, and this one you can hold in your hand and shake. I have a bigger maraca. I like that sound. And I have a rain stick that you can shake. You can turn it upside down to make the sound. I have one more that I want to share with you today, and let's listen to it. The tambourine. The tambourine is an instrument that you shake to make the sound, and it's also special because you can hit or tap on the circle right here on the head of the tambourine. So you can hit it or you can shake it. That's a fun one. All right, so those are instruments that you can shake.
All right, so those are our shaking instruments, and there are a few of those that we actually do have at Linda Elementary School. The little egg shakers that were the size of eggs and you shake them, those are shakers. We have tambourines, which are ones that you actually can play two different ways, shaking and hitting. We also, I think, even have little tiny rain sticks and many other shakers. The sleigh bells, the one that she put on her wrist that you can shake back and forth, we have those shakers as well. So when we get back, you guys might be able to play with some shaking instruments. Now let's look at some instruments that we scrape.
Some instruments in the music room you can scrape. So some percussion instruments we've talked about you can shake, you can hit or bang, or tap, and you can also scrape. I'll show you some today. So these are called sand blocks. And on one side we have the sandpaper, and when I rub them together, they're going to make a scraping sound like this. So those are the sand blocks. Another instrument that you can scrape is a tone block or wood block that has these ridges, these ribs on it. And I'm going to take a stick and rub it back and forth. Now this little instrument, this little wood block, also we can tap or hit to make the sound. So that's cool. You can play it two ways to make a sound. Oh, let's check out another one that we can scrape. The guiro. Here I could put my fingers in the bottom here to hold on to it. It's the shape of a fish and it also has the colors of Mexico. And if I scrape with my stick here, I can also tap. So that way I can play two ways also. Now this one also, like the fish, I can put my fingers to hold it. This is made out of a gourd, and the gourd has been carved in a way where we can scrape it. I like this one. The frog. The frog's back has some ridges on it that we can scrape also. I'm going to hold on to the stick. I'm going to hold on to the shorter part of the stick and start from back here at the base by his tail and going up to his head. One more instrument. Now, the kibasa, you can put your hand here, and we're just going to keep your hand flat and go back and forth. And that makes that cool scraping sound. So these are percussion instruments that you can scrape.
All right, so those are our scrapers. The biggest scraper instrument that we have are the wood blocks, the ones that you hold like this and have the sandpaper on each side so you can scrape like that. Those are the biggest scrapers we have. I think we might have a guiro or two, but mostly you'll be scraping these, but who knows, we might be getting some more. Now, the last type of percussion instrument we're going to look at is the type of percussion instruments that you hit. Now, there is a lot of them, so let's see if you can find some that you know.
Percussion instruments. Percussion instruments are instruments that you can shake, that you can scrape, and that you can hit. And today we're going to take a look at instruments that you can hit, or sometimes we say bang, strike, or tap. I like to a lot of times say tap because I don't want to hit things too hard to make the best sound. Here I have a wood block that I'm going to hit or tap. See how when I'm hitting it, I'm not hitting it very hard. Let's see, if I turn it over, yeah, makes a cool sound. I have a two-tone wood block or tick-tock block that I am going to hit to play, tap. And this tone block is also made out of wood. These instruments we've seen so far are made out of wood, and I can hit it here. Now the cool thing about this one is because it does have those ridges, we can also scrape to make the sound. Or tap. Another wooden percussion instrument that we can hit together are claves. And the claves are two pieces of wood, but special wood that makes a nice sound. And I also have some castanets that I'm going to hit in my hand when I play. Some people call those clappers too, but we hit them together. Now I'm going to show you some percussion instruments that we hit or tap that are made out of metal. So you might recognize this shape, the triangle. And notice I'm holding it up here by the string so that it is allowed to vibrate. If I'm holding on to the metal part, it's not as nice as a sound as if I hold it up here by the string. Another metal instrument that we hit is the cowbell. I'm going to take a mallet here and tap the cowbell. Cymbals. Cymbals, we have metal instrument that these bang together. Now notice I'm kind of releasing them. I'm not just clapping them and holding them. Kind of letting the sound ring a little bit after I hit them together. A gong. This gong we hit with a mallet also. I'm going to try this mallet. Let's see if I try a different kind of mallet. Oh, louder sound. So those are metal instruments that we would hit or bang. And another instrument that we would hit is a drum. Now the drum we could tap or hit with our hands or with my rainbow or lollipop mallet. It looks a little bit like a lollipop. We can tap in the middle. This is a cool one, the vibra slap. The vibra slap is one that we hit on the top. And But one more instrument that we hit to make the sound is the glockenspiel. Some of you might say, oh, that's a xylophone. Well, yeah, it is a xylophone. That's
You
a
guys
special
recognize
type
this one?
called a glockenspiel because it's made out of metal right here. Let's listen. So here
Notes
I'm
going
tapping
up.
or hitting it to make the sound. So those are percussion instruments that you can hit, bang, strike, or tap to make the sound.
All right, so those are percussion instruments we hit, and we have a lot of those at the school also. Little tiny drums, little cymbals, even the glockenspiel that she showed, we had a few of those. Now, how many of you saw that and remembered that from our video last week when we talked about notes going up and notes going down? That was the same instrument that we used. So that is how we use percussion instruments, shaking, scraping, and hitting them. Now, before we go, I did want to show you all a new game that is on. I'm going to give the link to your teachers so that if you guys want to play it, you can. Excuse me. Ooh, you can. So this is percussion instruments, hit, shake, or scrape. So we're going to press the start button, and it'll load up. And we'll press the start button again, and then it'll show you a picture of someone playing a percussion instrument. And you have to kind of guess, looking at the picture, how do you play that instrument? So how do you play the bongo drum? Do you think it would be a scrape, a shake, or a hit? Well, I think it's going to be a hit. It looks like she has her hands on the drum playing it like that. So we press hit. We got it correct. Now we have a tube shaker. How do you play the tube shaker? Shake, scrape, or hit? Well, it's called a shaker, so let's try and shake it. That's correct. Now, how do you play the hand drum? Let's say we want to scrape it. Nope, that's not right. Maybe it's a hit. And it is. So I don't want to go through all those because I'll give you all the answers and that's no fun. But I'll give your teacher a link to this game so that if you ever want to, you can play it. Well, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you had fun learning about percussion instruments, and I hope you have fun at school for the weekend. I'll see you next time.